What do you do when you're suffering from weak or no cell phone service and you're out in your RV? We've got a solution for you today. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. Before we get too far into this video, I have to start with a story and a little bit of history. So as you guys know, we recently purchased a new RV for us to go out camping in. And you also may have assumed that I need to be connected to the digital world in some way, shape, or form for a number of reasons, but most importantly in my case is a lot of the videos that you guys see right now, I actually film on the weekends and I upload on the weekends and I handle a lot of my YouTube stuff on the weekend. This is a long introduction to basically say that I need to be connected to the internet even when I'm trying to escape the world in my camper RV. But I don't think I'm alone. You see, many of us have gotten accustomed to being able to have our cell phone out and be able to check certain things whenever we feel like it. And if you've gone out a little bit away from the urban centers, you may have noticed that your cell phone signal has dropped to a lower level of service or disappeared completely. If only there was a way that you could somehow boost the signal and make it so that you had a signal again and or a stronger signal. And that's what we want to look at today. Now, before I get onto the product that's beside me right here, I want to talk a little bit about cell phone boosters in general. You see, cell phone boosters have been a thing for a very long time now, and my experience has been that most of them are crap and don't work. So let's start kind of with a hierarchy of cell phone booster. And many years ago, I was exposed to a very inexpensive passive cell phone booster, and it was actually a little sticker. And the idea behind this was that you would remove the battery from your phone. Yes, I'm going all the way back to when phones had removable batteries. And you would put this sticker on the inside of your phone. And the idea was that the scattered cell phone signals would somehow get collected by this little circuit board of supposed wires that you now stuck on here, and then it would make it more available to the internal antenna on the phone. Now, I had a lot of these and I put them religiously on my phone because they're quite inexpensive and it couldn't hurt. But I'm not convinced that it ever did help. It might make you feel better, but I'm pretty confident it never helped. And that leads us to the product beside me here. You see, this is not a passive cell phone booster. It actually has electronics that take the signal, amplify them through electrical circuitry and power and math and physics, and rebroadcast that cellular signal inside a vehicle, a house, or in my case, an RV. But if you start to look at the active cell phone booster options and a quick look online, you'll find that the camps are very split as far as which ones work, which ones don't work. And the common theme is the expensive ones definitely do what you think it's going to do. And the cheap ones are just cheap ones that don't work. Now, I don't have a lot of money, and I'm assuming that you're watching this because you're looking to maybe save a little bit of money. So what we're going to do today is explore this cell phone booster that's right beside me. I'm going to tell you all about the features of it. I'm not going to hook it up today, and I will have to provide my actual hands-on impressions after I've had a chance to test it. But through my research and very diligently looking through all of the options, this one does seem to have really good reviews, and most people say that it definitely is working. There's a few people who say it doesn't, but we're going to chalk that up to user error for now. Gamso. Are you paying too much for Netflix, Spotify, Disney+, Crunchyroll, Duolingo, Canva, or Adobe? Gamso has you covered with premium shared subscriptions for a fraction of the price directly from the distributor. Yes, Gamso is the shared premium experience that you've been looking for that saves a ton of money. I personally use Gamso for my Netflix, my Spotify, my Disney Plus, and my Crunchyroll subscriptions, and I have saved tons of money by switching to Gamso. Switching to Gamso is as easy as clicking the link in the description or up in the title card, which will take you to the main Gamso website. Select the services that you're looking for and buy them. But to show you how easy it is, we're gonna take 30 seconds and we're gonna sign up for Netflix. So we've clicked the affiliate link and I'm gonna click purchase now on Netflix. Now we have an option to buy 3 months or 6 months. I'm gonna buy a 6-month membership. I'm gonna say activate auto renewal because you don't wanna miss out anyway. Now in my case, I only need one profile. That means that I get one of the 5 included shared profiles with my Netflix account and I can install it on one device in my home. Do you have multiple devices in your home? You might want to switch to the 5 profiles option, which also unlocks multiple devices so that you can use all of your profiles across multiple devices. But in my case, one profile is plenty. Now, this is the most important step. It's gonna say, do you have a promo code? Yes, I do. And the promo code is GEARS. We're gonna apply our promo code and it's gonna say, this is a valid promo code. We're gonna click to go to payment and then we're gonna enter in all of our details. This is a one-time payment of just $21.26. That is crazy cheap for premium Netflix on one device with one profile. I'm going to pay now. I'm gonna enter my credit card information and that's it. Once you've paid, you get immediate access to Netflix and it's as simple as logging into your Gamso account, getting the username and passkey, and then going to legit Netflix. Now it's gonna immediately say, well, who is this? Now I am account number 3, Gears and Tech, and it's gonna ask for my PIN code because I locked this down. Once I have my PIN code in, now instantly I am in the full premium Netflix experience. This gives me HD Netflix, I can download it, and it's that simple. And it works the same on all your other favorite streaming platforms. This is truly an amazing deal, you don't wanna miss it. Click the link down below to grab your deal. Check back later for the other video where I actually tell you how well it actually worked. But let's look at what this thing is. And to do that, we need to start with an unboxing. So right off the bat, the box is actually pretty good. This is a cheap, inexpensive, active cell phone booster, but the box is full color printed. It was shipped with the shipping label stuck right on the box. So I can't show you guys the front part of this. I had to show you guys the back, but you get the idea of what's here. But I do want to explore kind of what's in this thing. I will say right off the bat, this is pretty heavy. Starting out, we get a user manual. This is, I mean, it's full color and it looks quite detailed as far as here's what this is, here's how to install it. It actually shows you 3M strips, installing it into your RV or camper or van or whatever. So the instructions look quite detailed. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna read the instructions because I like just winging it and see how that goes. If you're like me and you maybe wanna get a preview of what winging it looks like, you'll wanna check out that installation video that we're gonna have posted. I'll put a link somewhere in here maybe. If not, you can certainly check this channel to find the actual installation of this thing. We get return instructions, and they always say, so I got this on Amazon. Again, if you're looking for one of these and this might be the one for you, you can certainly click the link down below for this exact one. But these resellers, they don't want you sending it back to Amazon, so it says here's the return instructions, and they'll say call us first. In many cases, calling them can be beneficial because they have a lot more ability to service you when you stay out of Amazon. If you go through the return center, you're gonna be dinged a fee for the return, and the sellers get a little bit upset as well. We have a cigarette plug with adapter, which is good. We'll explore how that comes into play momentarily. We've got some metal mounting hardware. We've got, this looks like a 120 volt household plug-in adapter, which is good. So this would be good for dual purpose. When we do the install, we'll explore exactly which way that I use it for install. We've got a long section of antenna wire. This will be most likely for the exterior antenna. We put that right there. We've got another chunk of wiring here. I'm just gonna open this up to look at it. It looks like this is the actual antenna. Ooh, that's heavy. It's actually surprisingly heavy. This is metal, so this just threads onto here, obviously, like that. So this is our indoor repeater antenna. So it's got a connector end that will connect to a box of some sort, which we'll check out shortly here. And then we've got this guy. Now this guy is Omni antenna. Now this is the exterior antenna. Obviously this hardware is going to be used to mount this outdoors somewhere on our vehicle. Now this is a specific RV kit, and the reason for that is this can be mounted on the exterior of your RV quite easily using the included hardware. If you're looking for one that installs on your car or truck, there's different ones that have a magnetic antenna. They'll probably be omnidirectional. Something to note is many of these systems will have either an omnidirectional antenna or a unidirectional. Uni means one. If you're not sure why, think of a unicycle. What's the difference between a unicycle and a bicycle? Well, a unicycle has one tire, uni. A bicycle has two tires, bi. Bi means two, in case you didn't know. A tricycle, I'm sure you can guess, that means three tires on the tricycle. And then a quad, obviously there's, it's 4 tires. So this is omnidirectional antenna. That means it can take the signal from this way, or from this way, or from this way, or that way, or any direction. It does not need to be pointed in any specific direction, and it will take that signal and boost it. Question you're gonna have is, what's the difference between an omnidirectional and a unidirectional? I'm glad you asked. The unidirectional ones, you will need to use an app that tells you where the cell phone towers are and point the antenna at the cell phone tower for best results. Next thing you're gonna ask is, isn't that better? The short answer is actually yes, it is definitely better. And if you are looking for something where you have an RV that is parked all the time in the same position, same orientation, or you're at a cottage or your house, a unidirectional antenna for the outside is always going to be the best option because you can focus it where the cell signal is coming from and it gets you the best chance for amplifying it. In my case, I'm going to be using this RV a lot. I'm going to be in different locations. I'm going to be pointing different directions, and I will never ever know where the cell towers are at. So this is the best option for me because it's just a general set it and forget it system. If you have poor service with this setup, you can always swap the antenna out for a unidirectional antenna and keep the rest of the system. So you can swap the antennas between the two just fine, but when you're buying it and you're looking for one, know your application and know which one is best for you. There's only one thing left in here, and that is this guy here. Now this is the part that adds quite a bit of the weight. It's actually metal, it's quite heavy. It's got some lights on it. It's got a little power switch here. It's got a power input on here, which is where these two adapters come into play. And then it's actually marked outside right here with an antenna hole and inside right here with an antenna hole. Now it looks like the holes are the exact same. So this is our inside antenna. So I want to see, can I plug the inside antenna in the outside hole? And the answer is yes. So they have not dummy proofed this in any way. So it's possible for you to hook it up wrong, in the wrong orientation. And that's why some of the reviews where they say this thing doesn't work, it's quite possible that they didn't connect it up properly. So you do have to take those with a little bit of a grain of salt. The guys who did get it hooked up properly, they say it works pretty good. So this is everything that comes in this kit. Now there's quite a lot of stuff here, and the install may look a little bit daunting for you, and that's why the instructions are included, so it can walk you through. I will walk you through exactly how this thing gets installed, and it's in a different video. But let's talk a little bit about the specs and why I chose this one. First off, this is listed as a cell phone booster for RVs or cottages, and that's mostly because of what I said, the type of antenna that's being used. If you're trying to use it for a car, this is not the one that you want unless you want a big, ugly antenna hanging out of your car. There are ones that have a much sleeker, smaller antenna. This is just like satellite dishes of the old days. The bigger the dish, the better the service. The bigger the antenna on the outside, the better the chance that you're gonna actually be able to rebroadcast and get a better signal. There are some that have like multiple wires and prongs for an antenna. Those work really good too. Those are also an omnidirectional antenna, but they work better at collecting more of a scattered signal. So those will also work. And if you're looking at one of those and you're thinking, hey, I wonder if this is the one I want, that's really good more for like cottages where you're not even driving down the road. This one will actually have some wind resistance capabilities as you're driving 100 miles an hour down the highway, towing that RV in a slipstream. Now this is considered a high gain repeater, and it will repeat pretty much all signals, including 5G, LTE, 4G. It'll do 3G, I doubt you want to. It's really the 5G and the 4G that you're mostly interested. It does go on to list the bands. So this particular one boosts all US carriers and Canadian carriers. I'm in Canada, so that mattered to me. It boosts band 2, 4, 5, 12, 13, and 17. Now, many of you at home are saying, that's great, Anton, it boosts all these bands, and I heard you say a bunch of numbers, but what does that mean? In the old days, cellular providers had specific bands assigned to specific carriers. If you were with Verizon, you would be on band 5. If you were with AT&T, you'd be on band 12. And so it used to matter when you were looking at something like this to make sure that it was compatible with your carrier. With the introduction of 4G and more specifically with 5G, it turns out all of them are using all of the bands anyway, and it doesn't matter anymore. If, though, you are in an area where you're not getting 5G and you're not getting 4G and LTE is your best option, or gasp, 3G, there are ones out there that are better suited for 3G specifically and will target that band specifically. If you're looking at 3G, you definitely want to match the band of your carrier with the band of the booster that you're looking for. You definitely want to, otherwise you might be boosting the wrong frequency and you won't see any noticeable increase. But when your friends come over, they're gonna be like, wow, your cell signal's so good here, because you're boosting their service for them. They also say this is FCC certified. Being made in China, I doubt it. I think that they say FCC certified and they know that they'll get away with it, because who's gonna come back and blame them for it? I did know a side note on this, that there are some model numbers on here, and it does say on here, before use, you must register this device with your wireless provider and have your provider's consent. Most wireless providers consent to the use of signal boosters. Some providers may not consent to the use of this device on their network. If you're unsure, contact your provider. Antennas must be installed at least 8 inches from any person. You must cease operating this device immediately if requested by the FCC or used in Canada or licensed wireless service provider. Now that is the warning, and most people are not talking about that warning. And apparently, the cell provider will know if you're using this. I have no idea how, but if you hook this up incorrectly, you can actually cause quality of service problems for people in your area, around you, and it will cause them to come looking for you. And if you have this antenna, they could find you pretty easily. They do include an app which can help you locate cell towers. Again, with the antenna that we're using, it's not going to matter where the cell tower is because I'm not pointing the antenna. But if you do have a unidirectional antenna, that app will certainly help you a lot in getting it set up for the best signal possible. And that's pretty much it. That's all we can learn about this device. Now, the big question I have is this really going to be as good or equal to the $1,000 ones? And I think, like, quite honestly, I think the answer is yes. I really do think that those guys are gouging. Now, quality might be better, but this thing, as long as it works, it works. It's either taking a signal and amplifying it, or it's not. And if it's not, it's gonna go back in that box and get sent right back where it came from. So I'm not too worried about that. But if it does work, for under $200, you've got reliable internet out in the bushes, at least the best chance of having reliable internet. Now, will this boost your speeds? And I get confusing and conflicting answers to that question. Many say this strictly boosts signal, but a stronger signal does mean better speeds. It's the truth. If you use your cell phone and you have 5 bars, you can do a speed test, you'll get good speed. If you have 1 bar, you're not gonna get good speed. This is rumored to take you from 1 bar to 4 bars easily. Some people have claimed that this will take you from 0 bars, no service at all, to 2 or 3 bars, which is great. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the times that I went camping already where I had no cell service. It wasn't the end of the world, but it did mean that my workflow for the weekend was adjusted based on the fact that now I had no internet. So this is going to be important for me and for my purposes. For you, you gotta decide, is this what you're looking for? And if so, are you gonna click the link to buy it, or are you gonna try and find it somewhere else? Stay tuned for future videos exploring this device, installation and testing. It is all coming up on this channel. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.